Hello friends. Hello friends. Good morning to one and all. Welcome back to our class in Management Science Unit 4. Right? So let me share screen to you all. So in this previous class, we discussed about Unit 4, Project Management. So here Project Management, already we discussed about Project Management meaning, right? And characteristics of Project Management. We discussed here. Now, today's class, CPM method in project management. So here, in this class, what is meant by CPM? What is meant by critical path method? The meaning of CPM, and then what are the methods? In this method, what are the functions we have, and what are the different techniques or different aspects or factors including the CPM, and then features, objectives, and advantages of critical path method. These three things we discussed in this class, right? So CPM method, critical path method in project management. Before going to know about this CPM, just understand, I want to repeat 1 or 2 minutes about project and project management, just revision. So here project management means here maintain the contracts, maintain the tenders is called as project management. So first of all, what is meant by project? So project means a project is a series of tasks that need to be completed to reach a specific outcomes. A project can be defined as a set of inputs and outputs required to achieve a particular goal. So project can be range simple or a complex. It can be managed by the one person or hundred of persons. It is purely depending upon the company capacity. Company capacity. So here simply project means a set of tasks. So tasks means here a set of future course of actions to complete our tender or complete our project, right? So suppose the company having a project. So simply project, it is also known as a tender or a contract. So here contract, if company having a contract, then we need to plan for that particular contract. So before start the works of a contract, just we design some set of future course of actions. So and also set of inputs and outputs planning also we need to hear. So set of future course of actions or tasks pre-designed. That pre-tasks are called as here project to complete our targets of the company or complete our project or a contract taken by the company, right? So here, these contracts or these projects may be small or maybe large, small or large. Or some of the cases, some projects may be done by a single person, or some of the projects may be done by a group of people, or hundreds of people, or thousands of people. So this contract or a tender is small or complex, or by accomplished by a single person or accomplished by hundreds or thousands of people. This contract may be depending upon the company capacity. So that is called as here project. So now coming to the project management. So project management is the managing or maintaining the project or the contract or the tender. So maintenance or contract or proper management or proper manner, we used the contract. That type of proper utilization of inputs and outputs and having the proper plannings and having the time limit and having the budget or amount, allocated amount. By using of all this, we can use and we can develop our project. That is called as their project management. So at the point of starting to at the point of ending, between these all 2 points, we have a number of activities. We need to perform number of activities. So these all activities are managed and performed by the project manager. So the project manager doing some activities. So they are input and output planning and time planning, capital planning. Next, uh, preparing some analysis and preparing allocation of resources to each and every activity. These all activities are performed by the manager, project manager. So this is all about maintenance and maintenance of the project is called as a project management. So already we discussed. So here the timing, the control, the strategy, the monitoring activities, the developmental activities, the processes we have the accomplishment of a project or a tender or a contract or analysis, execution of all our works, planning of all our works are considered in this project management. Next, so already we discussed about the features of project. So this project is non-routine works. So it is complexity or simplicity based upon the company capacity. So it is similar to life cycle. So every project having some risks and having some uncertainties, right? So future is uncertainty. So based upon that point, some of the projects may have the risks. Some of the projects may not have any risks also. So non-recurring, already here, first point we mentioned, non-routine, non-recurring activities is the best feature of a project or a contract. So duration and activities or uncertainty. Suppose we fix it or we pre-decided the duration, but future is uncertainty. So time duration may not be in a proper way. So next, now coming to the critical path method, right? Already we just recollect the points project and project management and these characteristics of project management. Now critical path method. So in this critical path method, so find out the each and every tasks of a project or each and every future course of actions planned through this diagram. So this diagram is called as a network diagram. So by using CPM method, we can draw this CPM network diagram. And by using this network diagram, we can find out a critical path, right? So this CPM stands for critical path method, which was developed by DuPont company and applied the first to the construction projects in the chemical industry. So it was developed by DuPont company. So that company first introduced this CPM method, right? This is a chemical industry. So now I'm coming to the what is the meaning of CPM. So what is the critical path method in project management? So critical path method, CPM is also known as critical path analysis. Critical path analysis. Please remember this word. CPM is also known as CPA, critical path analysis. It is a scheduling procedure that uses of network diagram. So here already I told you this is the network diagram. So here scheduling the procedures. So scheduling means a clear-cut timetable for each and every tasks, right? So future course of actions. So suppose this circle form is called as node. So these nodes indicating that activities. So future course of actions or future activities to be performed by the company to complete the course or to complete the contract. So these are the activities. So here the CPM is a scheduling of each and activities, each and every future course of actions. So that processes timetable is called as here CPM. So look at here, scheduling procedure that uses a network diagram to depict a project and a sequences of tasks. So sequences of tasks, sequences of future course of actions to complete our project or contract. So a scheduling procedure that uses a network diagram to depict a project and the sequences of tasks required to complete it. So already I told you, sequences of operations required to complete our contract or our tender, which are known as the paths. So these are the path. So this is the one path. Look at the diagram carefully. So here, from starting point to here, and second, this is the ending point. So first path, this is the second path, and this is the third path, and this is the fourth path, and this is the last path, fifth. So these are the paths based upon the sequential operations. So once again, 1, 2, 3, 1 path, and from this point here and again here, this is the second path, second, and this is the third path, fourth path, fifth, and finally from starting to ending, this is the sixth path. So in this simple diagram, we have the sixth path, 6 paths, right? So that is the point here. So sequential operations or sequence of tasks required to complete it, which are known as paths. Paths to complete our work, to complete our tender, or to complete our contract, right? These are the paths. So these paths are totally based upon the sequential operations. Sequential operations. So we can understand these paths and the sequential operations for accomplishment of a contract is method is simply we can from this network diagram, right? So we can easily understand these paths and the future course of actions and sequential operations by using this network diagram, right? So coming to the next point. So here, once the paths are defined, so this is the paths. Once the paths are defined, the duration of each path is calculated by an algorithm. So each path timing is calculated by the algorithm. So timing is means here duration. So duration of each path is calculated with algorithm. So here, what is meant by algorithm? Algorithm means a process or set of rules to be followed in a calculations or other problem solving operations, especially by using the computer. By using the computer, the problem solving and set of rules to be followed in the calculations is called as here algorithms. Algorithms. So by here the path timing or path's duration is calculated by the algorithm, right? So to identify the critical path, which determines the total duration of the project. So the major task, the major purpose of CPM is to find out the total duration, total duration. So total time used for to complete the total contract or total project, right? So the total all parts and all activities completion time is called as here CPM, right? So to identify the critical path, which determines the total duration of the project. So the critical path method is used to project the management to create project schedules and helps the project managers to create timeline for the projects, right? So here the projected total time duration and timely completion of projects is all about CPM, right? So now critical path method includes these following tasks. So here, look at this thing. Look at this thing. So critical path method includes. So here, identify every task necessary to complete the project, and depending on decide the dependencies of activities between them. So here, first of all, the major task is here to find out the necessary tasks, necessary functions. What are the necessary functions we need to have to complete a particular project, a particular contract? So this is the first requirement. So identify every task necessary to complete the project or a contract or a tender, and also identify the dependencies of activities between them. Suppose some of activities are primary activities. Some of the activities are depending upon these primary activities. So these dependent activities are called as dependencies activities. So simply pre-activities. So activity, pre-activity. So these are the two things we need to consider here. Next, coming to the estimating of estimate the time durations. Okay, sorry for the disturbance. Some important. Okay, come back to our class. So here, identify the each and every tasks necessary to complete and dependencies of activities. So here in this thing, in this CPM include two things. First one, identify the each and every activity. Future course of action should be identified here to complete our total contract, to complete our total project. So after that, identify the dependencies, depending activities, right? So those are called as, those dependency activities are also called as pre-activities. Pre-activities. So activity, pre-activity. So these pre-activities are called as dependency activities. Next, coming to the estimating the duration of the project tasks. So here, estimating the time or duration of the each and every task. So here, look at this thing. So these are the tasks. So first of all, identify the tasks to complete our project. So from starting point to ending point. Suppose take the example of flyover construction. So first of all, base construction, iron and cement construction. Next, designing and the technology supporting. These are the few tasks to complete the bridge. So here for this contract making, first of all, we need to understand some activities. So what are the different activities we need to have? So identify different future course of actions, different activities. So these are the few activities, right? So and then dependency activities we need to find here. Suppose take the example of this node. So this node is depending upon 1 and 2 and 3. So these three are the pre-activities. to this activity. So this is the dependency activity, right? So dependency activity, and every task necessary means here identify these every tasks, and second one is depending activities. So the third one is estimating the estimating the time or duration of the project tasks means here estimation of time for each and every task. Suppose these two, what time we have, these two activities between what time we need to have. So estimation of time between these 2 points. So duration of each and every tasks, we need to plan for it. So estimation of time for each and every tasks. And next, calculate the critical path based upon the tasks duration and the dependencies to identify the critical activities. So here calculate the critical path. So here critical path means already I told you. So these are the 6 ways already in that I told you in the starting of our class. So here one way, this is the second way, this third way, this is the fourth way, and this is the last way, 6 ways. So between these 6 ways, find out the critical path. Suppose take the example of this line. So from this point to here and then here. Suppose take this path. Take this path. Maybe the critical path. So find out this critical path here. Critical path. So based upon the task's duration, task's timing, and then find out the dependencies activities also. And next point, another including in Cpm another is focusing upon the planning, scheduling, and controlling of each and every activities. Plan, scheduling, and controlling of each and every tasks to complete our total project. So here, controlling means so check our actual performance with planned performance. So once again, controlling means check our actual performance with the planned performance. So comparison between the actual performance and planned performance. If any gap is between them, we need to take the remedial steps to control the tasks, to fill the gap between the actuals and plans. That is called as here controlling. So planning and scheduling and controlling of total tasks to complete our project. Next, coming to the point, setting project milestones and deliverable based upon the orders. So here, finally, set the project milestones. So 5 milestones means here project total amount, total timing, means total duration, total amount or capital required, right? So total tasks to be performed. These 3 things are called as here project milestones and deliverable based upon the orders. So in time, within the time, we need to deliver the goods to the customers, and within the time limits, we can complete our project and submit to the government, right? So that is called as here deliverable based upon the orders. Next, reaching stakeholders' expectations. So here, stakeholders means the company board of directors and company chairmen or owners, as well as who relates to the company. That persons are called as here stakeholders. So these stakeholders, we come to this point: employers, competitors, right? Government, and the law, and the society. These all are comes under this stakeholders. So reaching the stakeholders' expectations related to our target or related to our tender or contract, right? Coming to the next point, insider into the which activities must be prioritized. So should plan for priority of activities, priority of tasks. So which one is the first priority task and next priority task? So just based upon the priority, we can give the first preferences to the tasks. for accomplishment of a target in a time, within a time. So must be in a prioritized activities must be in prioritized. Next one, allocate the necessary resources to get these important tasks to be done. To be done. So allocate the necessary resources. Simply remember this thing. The necessary resources means only five M's. Five M's. Men, money, machines, materials, and methods. These are the five M's. So this is also known as necessary resources, five M's. So plan and allocating these resources to get the important tasks to be done. Next, prepare the project plans, total project plans to accomplish it within a time. Next, select the suitable team of project. So project team selection and give the training, appropriate training to the team, and check the performance of each and every person involved in that particular project. So these are the few points or factors including in the CPM method, right? So today's class we discussed about critical path method. It was developed by DuPont company for it is a chemical industry construction project in a chemical industry. So this critical path method is also known as a CPA. Please remember this thing. Critical path analysis. CPM is also known as CPA, critical path analysis. It is simply a preparation of a timetable of each and every tasks and having the sequential operations and the dependencies of all operations. So each and every task timing or duration should be calculated by using algorithms, right? So it determines finally the major purpose of critical path method is finally calculate the total duration of project, right? So these are the few tasks we have considered here in our project. So the first one is identify the each and every task to complete our project or a tender, right? And next, identify the dependencies of activities. These two we should plan for it to complete our total project. Next, estimation of the duration of total tasks, timing of each and every task estimation. The second point is here. And next, the third thing is calculate the critical path. So between these all different six paths, we have, suppose take the example of this thing from this point to here and here and here. And finally, this is the ending point. So this is the critical path line. So find out the critical path, critical way to completion of our project. And the fourth is proper planning, scheduling, controlling of our proper tasks. So once again, controlling means here, check our actual performance with the planned performances. If gap is there, then we need to fill that particular gap by using some techniques. That is called as the controlling process. So planning, scheduling, and controlling the critical activities, and set the project milestones and deliverable based upon the customer orders or based upon the government orders within a time. Next point is here, reaching the expectations of the stakeholders. Stakeholders' expectations, we need to reach them. So stakeholders means here, who relates the company? The total people are concerned here, stakeholders. Some of examples: employees, employers, competitors, government, and the law. These are the few factors related to the stakeholders, right? So insight into the which activities must be prioritized. Prioritized activities must be performed in the first phase. Next, coming to the allocate the necessary resources. Necessary resources means here 5 M's: money, men, materials, machines, and methods. By using these resources, we can complete our tasks in a simple way. And next, prepare the project total plans, and finally, select a suitable team and give them a proper training and proper compensation to them. and check the performances of each and every person who involved in the in our projects, right? In our team. This is all about project management meaning, and then factors included in this CPM methods, right? Okay, thanks for listening, guys. We will meet in the next class with another topic from our fourth unit of CPM, right? Stay home, stay safe, relax.